Today I'm going to show you guys how to assemble this mini Toyota Tundra from BigToysDirect.com. So stay tuned. We're going to take everything out of the box and we're going to lay it off on the side so we know which parts are which. Alright, now that I got everything out of the box, I have everything laid out: windshield, gearboxes, gearbox covers, the rear axle, all the hardware, bumper support, and things like that. We'll go over one by one what's what, and we're going to start installing it on the truck. Alright, to start out with, what I did was I laid out the truck upside down, just so it's easier for us to access everything. Simple tools that we're going to need are a Phillips screwdriver and just some pliers. We're going to get started on installing the rear wheels with the gearboxes and the front wheels. Okay, so the first part that we're going to use is this rear axle. Notice that it's got a little square on the axle itself. That is going to go on this side that has the cutout for the square. We're going to remove the nut on this side using the provided little tool. We're also going to remove the little wheel insert and the washer. We're also going to remove that from the other side. Next, we're going to be installing the gearboxes, and they are labeled which one is the right one, which one is the left one. The sides are labeled on the gearboxes in accordance to the truck being upright. So the left gearbox is going to go on this side, and the right gearbox is going to go on this side, making sure that you put the cable connection inside the truck. So the next step, we're going to be installing the wheels in the back, and we are going to be using the rear wheels that have a larger gear in the back of the wheel. These are the front wheels, and these are the back wheels. This gear slides into the gearbox. Next, we're going to be installing this little insert that we took off of the axle, installing a washer, and installing the nut. Using the provided tool, we're going to tighten that. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Install the little spacer, install the washer, and install the nylon lock nut. For the front, we're going to remove the nylon nut, remove the little insert, and only one of the washers, because the front comes with two washers. One of them is going to stay on. Install the front wheel. Insert the little spacer. The little tabs are towards the outside, just like that. Install another washer and reinstall the nylon nut. Now, if you over tighten it and it doesn't spin freely, back off a half a turn to a turn so the wheel spins freely. Same thing on this side. We're gonna remove the nylon nut, the wheel insert, and one of the washers. Keep the other one on there. Install the wheel. Install the little insert. Install a washer and the nylon nut. And make sure that it's not over tightened and the wheel can spin freely. Our wheel covers, and all you have to do is line up the tabs on the wheel covers with the wheels and simply clip them in. Now, just a heads up, when you're installing the wheels in the back, these wheels are not going to spin freely due to the fact that they are inside the gearbox, so there will be some resistance to it. So the front of the Toyota has a little steering shaft attached to it. We're going to go ahead and clip those zip ties off. We're going to install this steering shaft into the steering gear. But in case the steering gear has moved slightly and you can't get it in, all you have to do is just adjust it a little bit and it will go. Make sure that this little J hook is going into the bracket here. Once you have this installed, we're going to use a washer and we're going to use this little retainer clip to put it on top of here. The way it works is you simply press this together to open it up, put it in the little channel and let it go, and it'll keep it clipped in. We're also going to be installing these little rear supports. We're going to slide on this little plastic clip on the shorter end. Once again, if you look at it closer, this side has a shorter bend, this side has a larger bend. We're going to install the plastic cover on the shorter end. Use the provided hardware. One of the sides of the little plastic covers doesn't have a hole pierced through it yet. You could simply do that with a screw as you're putting the screw in. All right, once we're done with the carriage, we're gonna go ahead and flip it back over the right side up and work on it from the top. Here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the motors, which is a simple white plug on each side. We're also going to hook up the big plug, which is power. Turn it on to make sure everything's working. And we're going to also check the direction of the motors by simply pressing the gas pedal. If they're spinning in the wrong direction, you might have installed the gearboxes on the wrong side, which would require to just swap sides. So next we're going to be installing these little motor covers. The little motor covers go inside here. We're using 8 of these screws for the motor heat shields. Alright, so this is what it looks like when these covers are installed. 4 screws per each, 1 on each corner. Next up is going to be installing the steering wheel. And the steering wheel has the little nut and screw inside of it. We're going to remove that. We're going to keep the little nut inside. We're going to install the steering wheel on the steering shaft. And we're going to reinstall the screw. We're going to tighten it while holding the nut on the other side so it doesn't push it out. Alright, our steering wheel is installed. Also for the steering wheel, we need to install 2 AA batteries for the working sounds. Next step is we're installing the seat. We're going to make sure that the seat belt portion is off to the side so we're not pinching that. And we're going to slide it into place. We're going to use these 2 black screws that came in the hardware right here to mount the seat into place. Next is the windshield, which just clips into place. And then finally we're going to install our mirrors, which also just clip in. Give you guys a quick walkthrough as far as where the charger plugs in. It's right here under the seat. Now please know that once you plug in the charger, it actually turns the car off, and you have a little indicator light that shows you a red light while it's charging and a green light when it's done. Make sure you fully charge it before the first run. This is your selector for forward, reverse, and neutral. You have your high speed and you have your low speed right here on the dash. And then you also have an MP3 player here, which you get an included little adapter wire for it that you can use with your phone or an MP3 player. You can also use a USB stick. Also, just a heads up, it does come with some spare washers, a spare clip, and some spare screws. So those you could set off to the side. Don't panic if you have some left over. You probably didn't miss anything. All right, so the remote control, you do have to provide 2 AAA batteries. You remove the little screw here. Install the batteries. And we install the little screw. So if for some reason your controller doesn't work, all you have to do is have the truck on, press and hold this M button, and it should fire right up. Controls are easy. You have your forward, your reverse, your speed selector. You have 3 speeds to select from, which light up. This is the lowest speed, this is the medium speed, and this is the high speed. You also have a parking button. If you press the parking button, it will not allow you to control it, and it will also lock the car out as your kid is trying to do something that they're not supposed to. Obviously you have your steering. and we're ready to charge this up and go have some fun with it. As you guys see, it's super simple to put together this mini Toyota Tundra from BigToysDirect.com. If you followed my instructions, you should be having fun with it in absolutely no time. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.